Good evening, welcome to the Sunday evening update on Hurricane Iota here. It is November 15th, 2020. As always, these thoughts are mine alone, and in making decisions regarding Iota, please consult the National Hurricane Center and your local weather offices for all official information pertaining to you. Well, here we have Iota. This is a very powerful hurricane now. It is not extraordinarily powerful just yet, but it is well on its way to doing so. Last night it developed an inner core here, and we have a very well-defined hurricane with an inner core that is firing convective bursts around an eye wall, which is acting to tighten that core and bring it closer together and intensify the storm, and leading to pressure falls at about 2 millibars per hour here. And this is continuing to advance off to the west-northwest, or just slightly north of west here, at about 9 miles per hour here. And so if we look at microwave imagery here to get a kind of better look at the structure and what this is actually doing under the hood here, if you will, you have a very well-defined eye here that has emerged, and you have banding structures that are going into the storm. And with a storm like this that has, abundant banding, there is the possibility for eye wall replacement cycles. You can kind of see that here. This may be able to try and cut off a secondary eye wall and maybe weaken this a little bit before landfall, but that would only serve to really expand the wind field and make this a much larger hurricane than it already is, and really would not do us a service at all. This still has 24 hours before landfall here on the Nicaraguan coastline, and so that really would not change too much at this point. This is already set in stone. This is going to be a very powerful hurricane come landfall, regardless of whether or not we get an eye wall replacement cycle. Will likely still be somewhere in between Category 3 and Category 4 range here as it approaches the coast and makes landfall tomorrow night. If we look at the water vapor imagery here, as I have pulled up, you can see that the storm is radiating a lot of outflow here. You can see all the outflow going off to the north and off into the south as well. Perhaps not as well, but you can see that, and the storm has been able to really ventilate itself in what is essentially a perfect environment for it to continue to intensify here. And so as this continues off to the west, there's not really a whole lot in the way of this now. There's no mid-level shear or anything that may be able to stop it. There's some form of mid-level shear up here, but that is pretty removed from the storm, and really, again, not a whole lot in the way of this right now, and it will likely remain that way all the way up until landfall, and that really is unfortunate here. If we look at recon, we just had a recon plane go in for the first pass here, and you can see that the storm is much stronger here. You can see the very well-defined core of winds here. You have winds on the northeastern side that are about 90 miles per hour and about 90, 85 miles per hour on the southwestern side here, and you have a pressure in here that's about 964 millibars. Just had a drop sonde in there confirm that. And so compared to this morning, if we look at the recon mission from this morning, you can see it has improved rather drastically here. You have 975 millibars when it left, and so it has dropped about 10 millibars since this morning, and this will continue to deepen rather quickly here. This is all courtesy of tropicaltidbits.com, and you can see that the storm's inner core has improved in intensity quite a bit here if we look back at the original or the most recent recon mission. So if we look at the 5-day cone here, we're really running out of time to do a forecast for this. This is pretty much set in stone at this point. This is going to be moving just a little bit north of west and heading into the area that Hurricane Eta made landfall not even 2 weeks ago here, and this entire area is under hurricane warning, understandably, since this will be likely having a slightly larger hurricane force wind field as this continues to maybe undergo an eye wall replacement cycle here and have a larger wind field, but this area is going to be affected regardless at this point, and you can see how slow this moves as it moves inland, and you're going to be dealing with rainfall in the same area pretty much that Eta made landfall in and moved inland with. And so the rainfall totals here will likely be astronomical, and you do not need any more rain after what Eta did here. So this will be in the area for about 2 days here. This is not going to go away as soon as it makes landfall, and so the likelihood of up to 2 feet of rain in some of the mountainous regions here in Nicaragua and Honduras is likely. And if we look back at the visible shot, you can see kind of traces of the mountains here as the daytime cumulus goes in, and you can see where these areas are going to be affected the most, as these mountains tend to wring out every single drop of moisture that the atmosphere can produce. And if you look at the overall fetch of moisture that Iota has, this is a very large area of moisture and will not be going away anytime soon. Even after the center is out, you will still be dealing with the backside of the storm, and it is rather large. This is moving a lot of atmosphere and a lot of moisture, and unfortunately for the people of Central America, this is all coming in such short time after Hurricane Iota made landfall in this region and dumped a lot of rain here. So please do be prepared, and our thoughts are with you. That's all I got for now. Thanks for watching.